We've got the sign, we've got the host, and we've got indie games to play again. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the debut episode of the Nintendo Switch's Indie Corner. Let's kick things off with Blaster Master Zero, which hit the eShop just last week. Blaster Master Zero is a reimagining of the original NES classic Blaster Master, of course. I've never played the original, but after seeing the trailer, I was excited to pick it up. Got into it the other night, and it's a really fun game. You drive around in a tank killing baddies and finding caves. Once you enter the caves, you're on foot with a gun, and you'll usually find an upgrade of some kind inside for your tank. The game also has a cool soundtrack, cutscenes, and plenty of retro flair. Do check this one out. If you're looking for a new racing game, look no further than Fast RMX. Our own Sean Long scored the game a 9 out of 10, praising it for its amazing graphics, gameplay, and value. It's not just a simple port of the Wii U's Fast Racing Neo either. The game runs much smoother and has a more balanced difficulty. You'll also get exclusive DLC from the Wii U version and some revamped controls. This makes Fast RMX the definitive edition of the game. Indie fans of the Wii U will recognize the iconic Shovel Knight that's now available on the Switch. Two versions of the game are available. Treasure Trove will net you the entire Shovel Knight collection, including the base game, the two existing campaign expansions, and the upcoming King Knight campaign, which doesn't have a release date yet. If you're looking to just try out the new campaign, then you can save some money and just pick up Spectre of Torment, which serves as a prequel to the original Shovel Knight campaign. You don't need me to tell you this series is great. I'm sure you heard plenty of times before. If you're into retro or just fun platformers, you'll want to pick this one up. For those looking for a more rhythm-based game, we'll go with Voz, is just that, featuring a multitude of songs to play. The game is played by touching the screen as the diamond shapes fall across the screen. Looking at how much coordination is needed to play this, I would probably suck at this, but hey, it does look really fun. More recently, we have the Tomorrow Corporation, which just released 3 of its titles on the Switch, including World of Goo, Human Resource Machine, and Little Inferno. Little Inferno was one of the Wii U's first indie titles, and it's more experience than game. I enjoyed my 6 or so hours with the game, in which you just burn stuff up. There's an interesting story that develops as you progress through the game, but the gist of the game is just burning stuff up. The more stuff you burn, the more stuff you unlock to burn. There are also secret combos for players to find, adding just enough depth to the game to keep you hooked. World of Goo made its debut years ago on the Wii. It's a great puzzle game that was super well received, and I'm really excited to pick this one up on the Switch. The game is built around the idea of creating large structures using only balls of goo. The objective of each level is to build a structure of goo to get your goo balls to a pipe. Nice, simple goo ball fun. And the last of the trio is of course Human Resource Machine, which will test how well you think as a programmer. Again, this is a puzzle-based game, but this time you have to arrange visual commands to run a program that will execute how your employee sprite moves around. The objective of the game is to rise the corporate ladder and make it to the top, all while solving some pretty unique type of puzzles. If you're looking for more indie goodness, you can hop on over to the European or Japanese eShop to find the following titles. First up is New Frontier Days Founding Pioneers, where you get to build your own town. As expected, you must first gather resources to then build different structures and advance your civilization. The game also lets you tame wild animals as pets. There's a bunch of modes to try out too. Not sure I'll pick this one up, but if you're into sim-type games, this might be a good fit for you. Ever played Othello before? If not, you can learn how to with the Switch version. And if you are familiar, well, you can play more of it on your Switch. Great for any fan of Othello, kinda meh for anyone who could care less about white and black pieces. I fall in the latter group. Finally, there's Vroom in the Night Sky for anyone who wants to play a racer slash collectathon slash I don't know. The game looks a little slow for my liking and has too much of that Superman 64 flavor to it, although doesn't seem to play anywhere as bad as that atrocity. If you pick this up, let me know how it is. I'm not sure if this game will be out by the time this episode airs, but we have The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, which is coming to the eShop. If you haven't tried out the game yet, this would be the best version to get as it comes complete with both DLC packs, which were priced at $10.99 US each. If you don't know what the game is, it basically plays as a top-down 2D dungeon crawler where you fight demons as the character Isaac. Kill things and get stronger, you know the drill. Now it's kind of hard to talk about indie titles without mentioning what else is in the eShop that's exclusive to the eShop. So here's a quick recap of what else you can pick up that isn't an indie title. Snipperclips, of course, is available and comes directly from Nintendo. This charming little 2-player puzzle game is perfect if you have a player 2 in your life. Our very own Andrew gave the game an 8.5 out of 10 and had a blast playing it with his mother. Don't worry though, if nobody likes you, you can still play the game in single player, though it might not be as fun. There are also a few competitive modes like air hockey mode, which I really enjoyed. We also got a nice serving of classic Neo Geo games to choose from. Classic 2D fighting game fans will definitely want to take a look at the King of Fighters 98. Or if you want a bit more anime flair in your 2D fighters, you should check out Waku Waku 7, which is another classic. Lastly, you can also choose to go with World Heroes Perfect, which is another 2D fighter. If you're a fan, it might be best to just pick up all three. If you'd rather blow shit up, then you need Metal Slug 3 in your life. The arcade shooter has aged very well and is an absolute blast to play. In a similar vein, there's Nom 1975 that also gives you plenty of stuff to shoot at, but from a different perspective. I haven't tried this one yet, but I might just pick it up as it looks awesome. Another military style shooter, but with a more top-down kind of view, is Shock Troopers, which is another game I might have to pick up. Honestly, my wallet is crying right now. I hate this. There's just so much good stuff to get. That's it for this week's episode. That's all that you can find in the eShop today. Now, we didn't cover what's upcoming because the episode was long enough as it is today. Depending on what the future of eShop titles looks like, we might reformat this episode so that we're showing you what's coming down the pipe and what's in the shop. It will all depend on how much titles we have to go through. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the return of Indie Corner. Let me know if you like it, what you don't like about it, what you want to see more in it, and I'm going to modify the show as we can. Now, I don't know if it's going to be weekly or bi-weekly or maybe even monthly. It's all going to depend on what the Switch's release schedule is like in terms of games on the eShop. But either way, we're going to be back with another episode. So thanks again for joining. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, keep on playing indie.